While humans rely on words, kittens communicate through a sophisticated system of biological telegraphy. The tail is not just for balance. It is a direct extension of the spine and a primary transmitter of emotional intent. Understanding these signals is what separates a casual pet owner from the 1% of experts who truly speak cat. 1. The vertical greeting. The upright tail is the gold standard of feline confidence. This posture is more than just a visual cue. It is a profound evolutionary bridge between the wild and the domestic. Research conducted by the University of Southampton has explored how this behavior likely evolved from the wild African wildcat. In the natural world, kittens use a vertical tail to signal their presence to their mother in tall grass. This makes it easier for the mother to keep the litter together and facilitates nursing and protection. Domestic cats have uniquely extended this neonatal behavior into adulthood specifically for humans. By doing this, they create a permanent state of juvenile trust with their owners. When a kitten approaches you with a high tail and a slight crook at the tip, which we call the question mark, it is performing an act of radical vulnerability. According to studies on felines' social structures, this specific curve reduces the perceived threat of a direct approach. It suggests the kitten is open to engagement but is still assessing the emotional temperature of the room. If the tail is perfectly straight and vibrating, a phenomenon often called tail quivering, it signals a massive surge of oxytocin and dopamine. This is most common when a preferred social partner, like you, returns home after a long day. Interestingly, a study in the Journal of Applied Animal Behavior Science found that cats are highly sensitive to how we respond to this signal. If you ignore a vertical greeting, the kitten may experience a minor social stress event. Over time, a consistent lack of acknowledgement can lead to a decrease in the kitten's overall social confidence. The top 1% of owners know that this is the precise moment to offer a slow blink or a scent exchange by letting them sniff your finger. This reinforces the bond and tells the kitten that their communication has been read and accepted. It is the feline equivalent of a warm hello that sets the tone for all future interactions. 2. The point of no return. Misinterpreting a moving tail is the most common cause of what owners call unprovoked bites. In the canine world, a wag is usually positive, but in the feline world, motion is often a critical warning of sensory overload. Research from the University of Lincoln's Animal Behavior Clinic highlights how the tail acts as a barometer for the autonomic nervous system. When a kitten is being petted and the tip of the tail begins to twitch rhythmically, they are entering a state of petting-induced aggression. This is not mean behavior. It is a physiological limit. Feline skin is incredibly sensitive. Repetitive stroking can cause the hair follicles to send signals of discomfort or even mild electrical pain to the brain. Scientists have mapped the speed of tail movement to levels of the stress hormone cortisol in the bloodstream. A slow, heavy thumping of the whole tail indicates frustration or deep predatory focus. You often see this when a kitten is watching a bird through a window. However, a rapid, whip-like lashing is a sign of fight-or-flight activation. The elite owners watch for the micro-twitch. If you see even a slight movement at the very end of the tail while you are petting them, you must stop immediately. This allows the kitten's nervous system to reset and calm down. By respecting this silent no, you build immense trust. You are proving to the kitten that you understand their boundaries and will not push them too far. Studies show that cats whose owners respect these tail signals are significantly less likely to develop chronic anxiety or hiding behaviors later in life. 3. The geometry of fear. When a kitten's tail transforms into a bottle brush, it is a survival mechanism called piloerection. This is an involuntary response triggered by the sympathetic nervous system. It causes the tiny muscles at the base of the hair follicles to contract and stand on end. Researchers at the University of California, Davis explain this as a deception tactic. By increasing their visual volume, the kitten attempts to look too large and dangerous to be eaten. It is a primal response to a perceived existential threat. The angle of this puffed tail tells the real story of what is happening in the kitten's mind. An arched puffed tail, known as the Halloween cat posture, signals defensive aggression. The kitten is saying that they are terrified, but they will strike if you come any closer. Conversely, if the puffed tail is tucked low between the legs, the kitten has surrendered to pure fear and feels completely cornered. A fascinating study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that kittens who were under-socialized during their golden period between 2 and 7 weeks of age trigger this response much more easily to everyday sounds like a vacuum cleaner or a dropped spoon. For the expert owner, a puffed tail is a signal to provide space, not comfort. Picking up a puffed-up kitten can lead to redirected aggression. This is where the kitten bites you, because they cannot reach the thing they are actually afraid of. The best response is to create a safe path to a high shelf or a hiding spot. Vertical height is the ultimate antidote to feline fear. Once a kitten is above the threat level, their heart rate slows down, the tail flattens out, and their sense of control returns. 4. The invisibility cloak. A low slung or dragging tail is a subtle cry for help that many people miss. In the wild, a cat with a low tail is trying to be invisible to avoid being spotted by predators. When this happens in your living room, it suggests the kitten feels exposed or hunted. Veterinary behaviorists at Tufts University have linked a consistently low tail carriage to chronic environmental stress. If a kitten feels they cannot safely navigate their territory, they physically shrink their presence by keeping their tail down. There is, however, a very different version of this called the stalking low. During a hunt, a kitten keeps the tail low to maintain a low center of gravity and to stay hidden from their prey. The tiny, hypnotic twitch at the tip during a stalk is actually a sophisticated balancing tool. Research using high-speed motion capture shows that the tail acts as a counterweight. This allows for the explosive and precise pounce that makes felines the most successful hunters in the world. If your kitten walks with a low tail outside of playtime, the expert owners check for territory friction. They look for loud noises or signs that another pet might be bullying the kitten. To fix a low tail, you must catify the room. Adding cat highways like shelves and bridges allows the kitten to survey the room from a position of power. When a kitten feels they own the upper air, their tail naturally rises. This signals they are no longer a prey animal in their own home, but a confident predator in a secure kingdom. 5. The sacred bond. The most intimate tail gesture is the wrap or tail twine. When a kitten curls its tail around your leg, they are performing a social hug. A study in the journal Behavioral Processes observed that in feral colonies, this behavior is used to resolve conflicts and reinforce group identity. It is the social glue of the feline world. By wrapping their tail around you, the kitten is applying scent from their sebaceous glands. They are effectively marking you as a safe and beloved part of their tribe. This gesture is a massive sign of trust because the tail is highly sensitive and contains the final vertebrae of the spine. Exposing it to you and initiating contact is a sign of total security. Furthermore, how a kitten uses their tail during sleep reveals their true level of comfort. A kitten that sleeps with its tail tucked tightly around its nose is conserving heat and protecting its vitals. This is a sign they are still a bit wary of their surroundings. However, a kitten that sleeps with a loose, relaxed tail in the middle of the floor feels 100% safe. The top owners treat a tail wrap as a high honor. It is the ultimate confirmation that you have successfully integrated into their world. Responding with a gentle stroke at the base of the tail where the scent glands are most active completes the communication loop. This mutual scent handshake solidifies a bond that goes deeper than simple pet ownership. It becomes a lifelong partnership based on mutual understanding and deep respect. The tail is the mirror of the kitten's soul. By moving beyond the basic misconception that a wag always means happy, you enter the elite group of owners who can predict their pet's behavior before it even happens. Whether it is the confident vertical greeting, the cautionary twitch, or the affectionate wrap, every movement is a word in a silent, ancient language. Observing these signals not only prevents behavioral issues, but builds a foundation of trust that will last for the cat's entire life.